Hey guys, finally doing that video that I said I'd do. Large Sebenza 21 versus Large Sebenza regular. Here we have my third and newest Chris Reeve knife, and that is the Sebenza 21 large with the Devin Thomas Damascus raindrop. This thing is just pure eye candy. I mean, one freaking sexy knife, and just love the raindrop Damascus on this thing. Blue anodized pyramid stud, lanyard spacer. This thing is really awesome. Very, very tight tolerances on this thing. Tighter than both of these Sebenzas actually. The lock bar tension is tighter. The opening and closing is more hydraulic. The jimping actually on this large Sebenza 21 is actually very rough and very grippy in comparison to these two here. But yeah, really very comfortable knife. So smooth and just hydraulic in that sound. And then got a little discoloration on the TI. There are a couple scratches now on the pocket clip after carrying it to work a bit. I was going to make this a full-blown EDC, but after getting the initial scratch on the pocket clip and a little discoloration on the front here, I kind of do want to baby it more than these. I don't want to use this knife as just a beater Sebenza, I guess you can almost say. I do value this a lot, so I'm going to be taking it more easy on this one and only occasionally carry it. But this video is really about these two, the regular production Sebenza 21, the standard S30V blade, titanium Reeve integral lock, and the large Sebenza regular S30V blade, titanium Reeve integral lock. Virtually the same knife, but physically very different. As you can see here, both the pocket clips are the same, but I mean you can tell right off the bat the butts of the knife are different. Lanyard holes are roughly the same spot, but like I said, the shape of the entire back of the knife is quite different there, kind of sculpted differently. I find the Sebenza 21 to be more elegant looking, more female, I should say, if I may say. With just more slender, more curves to it, more you know, kind of like a woman. Referring to knives as women's were crazy. That's knife nuts. This one's more kind of beefy. I mean, it's got kind of the frills here, but at the same time, it's more kind of blobby to me. It's not quite as elegant looking as the Sebenza 21. With the classy C cutout and the slenderness, where this one's more kind of just rectangular, I guess. Also notice the sides of the knife are different. The regular here, you got these machined kind of lines going along the backs here all the way around, and then it's just kind of flat, and then it's just straight titanium and then straight into those. Where on the 21, you will see here that there is like a bevel, secondary bevel, machined bevel that goes on the side, and there's sterile on the side here. None of those three lines that you see on the large regular there. Kind of see those lines there, and you can see that how this has the secondary bevel. So this one feels smoother, a little bit more rounded. Both here don't have the newer screws, so the back of the screws are still rounded off on both here. You can see the lock bars are quite different on the 21 versus the regular. The regular has these scallops or cutouts, and the 21 is just kind of smooth and a slight C shape there. And as you can see, and once again, you can also kind of tell the difference in the shape, the 21 being a little bit more slender and the regular more kind of rectangular. And you'll also notice this part here on the regular, you'll see it's once again just flat titanium, and then you turn it around and you got this tip here thing going, but it goes all the way up, just straight across, versus the 21, you will see that once again it's been you have some more bevels going on here, and that's only on the top part. The back side here is just flat titanium without the that longer bevel. This is supposed to be so it's easier to slip in and out of the pocket because it is tip up, and so when it goes in your pocket, it's supposed to slide in a little bit easier. Honestly, I can't really tell the difference, but I mean, I guess it would probably help in some cases. As far as opening, or you can see also another thing here is the blade on the regular there. It goes out a lot farther. It doesn't disappear in the handle until like right here. So all of the blade you see here sticking out, and then it gradually drops right there. But on the 21, happens a lot sooner. This one, you're traveling, and it's gone about just over halfway. So about right there is when the blade is disappeared into the titanium handle, versus the regular, which isn't until all the way down here. So the 21 is like up here, and then the regular is down here. So just very subtle differences, but they're very noticeable once they're in hand and you're holding them and using them. Jimping wise, the regular is more rough, more rigid than that of the 21. I really doubt you'll be able to pick this up with my MacBook laptop camera here, but these are sharper, more like triangles, kind of like a up and down, where the 21's jimping is kind of smoothed off at the top. Like if you can picture a triangle and then having, if you can picture the triangle and then just having like the tip shaved off, so it kind of becomes, I don't know how to do this with my fingers. Here, I'll write it on paper real quick. Alright, so really lame drawing here, but I mean, if you can see the top there, it's like triangles, and underneath obviously blown up a bit. The 21 has like the triangles, but the tips are like shaved off. So the regular has more aggressive jimping when it comes to actually holding the knife in hand versus the 21. The 21 is indeed smoother. This one's more of a file-like feel versus this one, which is just a bit more grippy. Opening the knives, both very comfortable to pretty comfortable to open. I mean, when I first got the Sebenza, the biggest thing that kind of bugged me was that pyramid stud, because I didn't really know how to open it with the 21. After much practice, remembering not to put tension on the bar, the lock bar, I can place my thumb directly on top of the stud and move it out, but it is not the most comfortable at all. With the 21, what I prefer to do is to put my thumb underneath, actually, with my nail, and I lift it out, and then follow to open it. So I think the detent on the 21 is a bit stronger than that of the regular, because with the regular, I mean, I can do the same method, putting my thumb underneath and then rotating out, but this one I can just put my thumb directly on top and move it out without any pain or discomfort. It is just thumb on top and open. So I think the detent on the regular is actually lighter than that of the 21. Because the 21, if I put my thumb right on top right there, I have to really put pressure, and it is very uncomfortable to open. It's much easier for me to put my thumb underneath and guide it out. And this one I can just put it on top, no worries. As far as closing the knives, on the regular, it's a little bit more harder to get to. As you can see there, there's not much of a cutout. It's just that itty bitty little bit right there that you can put your thumb into to move her to the side and close. I mean, both holders are flawless, smooth wise, opening and closing, and both center up perfectly. But as far as disengaging, the regular is a little bit harder to disengage, because with the 21, you got that large C cutout here. So opening it there and then looking, you have a huge amount of space to put your thumb. It's like perfect. So I just put my thumb right there, and super easy. This one's definitely more comfortable for me personally in the hand. With just, I like how slim how it goes from thick here to slim. Really locks my finger in here, and I feel like the knife can't be pulled out, because since it widens as it goes back, kind of like the strider, it's in your hand. So as you're trying to pull forward, your grip is being forced apart. It's wedging, has that wedge effect, because you got it narrower here around the fingers where you're locked in, and wider at the back. So if you're trying to pull the knife out of your hand, it's going to kind of wedge here in between because you got that secure grip up front. So the 21 for me is the more comfortable knife, comfortable to hold, to disengage. The 21 though does have its advantages. I mean the regular, and that is the jimping here. With these scallops here, I mean I feel I can choke up a bit more on this knife and have like 3 fingers there, 2.5 into those scallops here. I feel like I can hold back farther on the knife there, and so I'll have a pretty secure grip on the knife with the scallops. If I flip it upside down, I can really rest my thumb here. If I'm like cutting upwards, you know, maybe into an apple or food, or if I'm carving something, it's more comfortable. I can adjust grips with this knife a lot easier than that of the 21. So that is an advantage that this one has. That the 21 is a little bit harder to do because you don't have the scallops, but I mean, you can still rest your thumb here in the C shape, and you can move your hand back, but you don't have the advantage of those scallops here. It's best when locked in to that C cutout here. Then on this one, where you can hold just multiple grips. What else can I say about these? As far as blade shape goes, this one I mean I like it. I do like the belly on it there and how this extends out, but I prefer the 21 again. I don't really need a lot of belly when I'm cutting, and so I mean the 21 is fine for me. It's a little less subtle. I like the more sleeker look of this coming down. Looks a little more, I don't know, tactical-ish, I guess you can kind of say. A little bit more stabby, pointy than that of the large regular blade, as you can see here. So you can see that this one's wider than that of the Sebenza 21. I guess the advantage for this wider blade would be maybe perhaps for food prep. You got a little bit more blade to go through than that of the 21, but really I don't think there'd be an issue with either. And so, I mean, when it comes down to it, I really do like the 21 better than the large regular, but I definitely don't mind having a large regular to be partners with the 21 here. I still like to switch them off, and and also too, just some quick history. The 21 is actually the more original design between the two. The 21 is before the 21, before the regular, they had the classic, which was virtually this exact knife, except it didn't have these bevels here for the in pocket sliding, so it was just solid like the other side and like on this one, but it still had the C cutout shape here, and on the back it has classic engraved here, classic, and then like the date numbers in Roman numerals. But other than that, it was the same, pretty much the same blade shape, I believe, and same exact design of the 21. Just like I said, without these bevels here for the in-pocket sliding, and also it had the engravings on the back of the pivot here, on the back of the pivot slab. And then they moved to the regular, and then they switched it back to this, like with a little bit of changes, and called it the 21. So I mean, between the two, yeah, like I said, I favor the 21, but I definitely do like having a regular in the collection. I feel ever so slightly that the large regular is a little bit heavier than that of the 21. It's almost not even noticeable, but I mean, I could kind of tell there. The regular is a little bit heftier than the 21, and I think that's because this one's beveled off all the way around, and this one's definitely slimmer. It's got that giant C cut out. You know, at the top here it's shaved, where this one is just kind of solid rectangular slabs with not much at all bevels around the entire knife. So this one I think feels a little slightly heavier and probably a little bit more blade, since this one extends farther, a little bit wider. So I mean, this video either is probably extremely boring or kind of educational for you guys. Hopefully it's a little bit of both. I know it's a lot to watch here, almost 15 minutes. Hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed this. I know it's long, but this is the Large Sebenza regular and Large Sebenza 21. Hopefully I didn't miss any points there as far as comparing the two. They're virtually the same, but yet, like I said, there are a ton of differences, and I think I pointed out all of them, if not all of them. So, yep, that's it, guys. Those are the Large Sebenzas. Try to enjoy right here.